Hey, välkommen tillbaka. Welcome back. Tack för sist. Thank you for the last time. Today, I'm gonna gripe a little bit, but in a good way. I saw a video on TikTok yesterday. I had posted a video about being proud to be American, and I am. Flaws and everything, I get it, but I'm very proud. But this video was a soldier with a bunch of guys walking behind him. Maybe it was AI, but you know what? I'm taking it at face value. Soldier walking somewhere probably in the Middle East with a bunch of guys behind him, basically saying, if you hate your country, look at what we do to give you the freedom you get. And I try always when I run into a veteran or somebody in uniform to say, thank you for your service. I just ran into a guy at Home Depot yesterday. I was buying paint. And the guy walked up to me and started talking to me because I had this shirt on, not this shirt, I had a shirt on from my son's work, and he asked if I worked there, and we started talking. And it turned out he had learned avionics in the military, and he just finished a tour. And one of the very first things I said to him was, thanks for your service. I'm no saint, but I try to put something good into the world. I ran into a kid in Colorado Springs last fall, and there's a military base there, Air Force Academy. And he was in his full uniform, and he was buying a coffee and a Monster Energy drink, a couple other things. And I said, I'm buying for this guy back here. It's the least I can do. And that's not a pat on my shoulders. That's not what this is about. This is about being thankful for where you live. I know we got shit here. I know we got flaws. But this is an amazing country. And I do not understand the haters. The people that go protesting for some psychopaths on the other side of the world that would kill you in a heartbeat if you went to their country. You know, I don't understand it. These college kids that have no view of the world. And I get it. I was not very knowledgeable when I was 21 either. Thought I wasn't. But it makes me sad. It's taught in our schools. You're taught to dislike our country, to hate our country. You don't get taught about Benjamin Franklin and George Washington. They're just scumbags. People it's presentism, right? It's taking our values and things we know now and putting those characteristics on those people 250 years ago and expecting that they should live the same way that we live and think the same way. Well, you, my friend, if you're one of those haters and you lived in 1776, you would not have the thoughts you have. You would think differently. You would be different. And I thank God for those founding fathers with all their flaws, because we would not have this country. They had the balls, the temerity to break away from England and to say, we're not living under a ruler anymore. We're going to be free people. They set up a constitution that makes it really hard to F with. You cannot, I hear people say, you know, my parents live up in Canada and they got their own issues there too. Great country, love Canada. Every country has issues. You know, but people point, oh, this president did that and the last president did this. And I'm like, you know what? This country is way bigger than a president. And it withstands everything. Every president that has been in office in my adult life, the people on the other side said, we won't survive this. Yes, we will. That's why we have a constitution. You cannot just take the Second Amendment away. You can't take gun rights away. You have to get 2/3 of the states to get on board to have a constitutional amendment for that kind of stuff. It's not going to happen. So I don't care who's president. I've loved presidents. I've hated them. I've been indifferent. Doesn't change my love for the country. I don't love a president. I've never held politicians up as some sort of beacon of hope, because the fact is most of them get into office and a lot of them end up corrupt or indifferent or don't give a shit or they're just there to fundraise. So I do not put my faith in politicians. I put my faith in the country, the people, the Constitution. Bit of a rant, but it really bothers me when I hear people hating on their own country. I say, give it a try. You want to live in the Middle East in one of those countries where If you're gay, they're going to throw you off a building. If you're a woman, you got to cover yourself up. Not for me. I don't want it. I want a free country. I want free people. And I want equality for everybody. Everybody. And don't try to tell me that things are worse now than they were 150 years ago. It's just not true. It's bullshit. Yeah, we can do more. Yes, we should do more. I try to do my part. I don't know how much I can do, but I try to treat everybody I meet with respect, dignity. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you love. I don't care what you look like. That doesn't mean we can't all have our own opinions and still get along. I have my political beliefs. I rarely talk about them on here. But I don't feel the need to degrade or cut down somebody. Every once in a while, getting a little bit of a beef with somebody, and I try to back off from it because it's like, this won't get me anywhere. I'm not going to convince them. They're not going to convince me. How about we find some common ground? So, end of rant. I hope you're all having a beautiful day. It is getting pretty hot here in Utah. It's 95 degrees today. But you know what? I love it. I love this state. I love this country. I have traveled all over the United States with my work. I've worked in almost every state. I find people everywhere to be mostly good people. And I think if you approach life with that view, you're going to be a happier person. But I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, just like you're not going to tell me how to live mine. I know what I want. I know I got to go after it. I know I got to work my ass off to get what I want. So, hope you all have a great day. Peace, love. Till nästa gång vi snackas igen snart. So next time we'll talk again soon. Ha det och ha det bra. Have a good one.